This is Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love for July 2018. Welcome back to another episode of Picking Up the Pixels RPG Love. I'm your host, Boston. Joining me as always is Musum.
Hello.
Mina had to dip out for some family stuff. It looks like she just got home in chat. Unfortunately, we just sort of missed her. She'll be back next month, and hopefully everything's going okay. And I just said this on stream, but I'll say it here for all the audio peeps. It was 114 degrees yesterday, and it's 104 today, which is quote-unquote better. Usually I don't have a fan on or anything in here, but today I will, and I have the window open, so if you hear any of that stuff, I'm sorry, but I don't want to die. It's one of those where it's like, put your pets inside, everybody else, so, we will, I'm sorry if when I master this it sounds a little crazy. So, anyway, let's just dive into what you've been playing this past month, Musum.
So I've had kind of a need to relax, get myself back into gaming kind of month. So I've spent a ton of time with Skyrim on Switch.
Oh, yeah. How does that run, by the way?
Pretty good, honestly. Yeah? The load times aren't super bad or anything, and it plays just fine. I haven't noticed any frame rate dips or anything.
Nice. That's pretty impressive.
You get on a mountain, you look around, and, it's still a... It's not the prettiest I've seen Skyrim, but it's still a very attractive game.
As an unmodded Skyrim, it looks pretty good.
Yeah. and playing it unmodded, it's like a completely different experience. Right?
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm having the common man's experience.
Right.
I sound like such a jerk saying that.
Right. Oh, the plebes.
This unmodded land. What a...
Does it come... It comes with all the DLC, too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, like, the really crummy-looking Link armor, like the Legend of Zelda armor.
Yeah, I haven't really, I feel like I sought that out when I first started playing, but I feel like I quickly stopped. I think I sold it and got rid of it and didn't use it because it's just
it looks
crappy
real bad.
leather armor.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because I do feel like I'm playing kind of a working stiff in Skyrim. That I'm going to a dungeon, I'm clearing it out, I'm going, I can only hold so much of this on my way back, so I carry it back, and then I sell everything off, and then I work on my armor and gloves and things to try and earn enough money to, build my mansion outside of Falkreath, and then I go back and rinse and repeat. But this is my, I'm pretty sure I've talked about him before, but this is my character I made an Argonian and named him Jormungandr, the world serpent.
Right.
And I've been kind of going around with that. I still can't make myself join the Stormcloaks. So, but I am, trying to level up the werewolf thing a lot, which I've never done.
Oh, yeah.
I've always just kind of immediately cured it, because it's not a super great ability. It's cool the first time or two, and then you're quickly out-leveled with it.
Yeah.
So I'm getting it, but this is the other fun part about playing it on a console is I'm getting some of the entertaining jank.
Oh, yeah.
I normally don't get. One of it, I really regret not just leaving it and going forward. So, in Whiterun, you have the armor smithy place, War Maidens, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the Warman lady, whose name I don't remember, she was sharpening a blade or something, and you just click on them until they get off it and then start using it. So I did that and started doing a weapon, and I heard her make a damage sound. I'm like, oh, that's weird.
Oh, no.
And then I got up and looked down, and she just fell over dead. It's oh, that's weird. And I take all her stuff, as you do. Right. And then I walk inside, this is, she's literally just fallen dead. So I walk inside to the old grizzled guy inside, and I'm like, hey, how you doing? So where do you get your weapons? He's like, well, since so-and-so died, we just buy it from Khajiit traders. What's it matter? You gonna buy something? I'm like, man, this guy went freaking...
So sorry for your loss.
No grief process here.
Yeah. Jesus.
But I reloaded. I really wish I'd kept it. Like,
yeah.
That's one of those really nice, cool, immersion, stupid things that could happen. But
yeah.
I've decided if something like that happens again, I'm running with it. But
yeah, as long as you don't exit a building and like 30 people are dead, then
oh yeah, that would be a problem.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's probably all I gotta say. I mean, it's still Skyrim. I haven't started the DLC stuff yet. I'm kind of want to max out my smithing stuff and get the best armor, and then
yeah. So. That stuff's so powerful.
Yeah, and it's also weird, like not being able to. Oh, this fight's annoying. I'm gonna turn on God mode, and I can't do that anymore.
Right.
Sometimes I find a way to cheese it. Like this one guy just kept killing me no matter what I did, and then he got stuck behind a rock.
Great.
Whittled him down with a bow and arrow, which I hadn't put any points into at the time.
Right. Really Dark Souls it.
Yeah. So, after that, I went back to BattleTech and reloaded my game there. And I think what I figured out is I either need to go pretty far back in my save games, which BattleTech has a lot of layers of autosaves. So I think that might be possible. Or start a new game, and I'm not sure which. The thing I did wrong in my old game was when I got like a 5th or 6th mech, I immediately put them into storage. And what I didn't realize is when you put a mech into storage in BattleTech, it's there, like it takes like 3 months to get it out of storage.
Whoa.
So you have monthly bills in that game, and most of your jobs, you generally want to do a couple jobs a month to try and pay those bills and get enough money to repair your mechs.
Mm-hmm.
And like I quickly discovered that if I run a mission with 2 mechs, they're going to get so damaged I make no profit off of that. And now I'm stuck waiting like 3 or 4 months before I can get like any semblance of mechs back.
Ah, right.
So it's that game's pretty intense. So
yeah.
We'll see. I need to figure something out. I really like that game. I just I didn't realize how easy it is to completely kill your game with even just like a slight mismanage by not understanding that. But now that I understand that, like I think I need 6 operational mech. Like at the start, you can only hold up to 6 mechs. So I think I need all of those slots open with mechs in it that I can move in and out.
Oh, you sort of rotate as missions come and go?
Yeah.
Right, gotcha.
Because I don't see how I can do these missions without taking damage. I don't understand the various weapon differences and such yet. I'm too much of a noob to this stuff, so...
Right.
But the music for that game is still freaking amazing.
I haven't heard it yet.
It's probably going to be my favorite soundtrack of the year. Like, it's up there with... I always want to compare it to Mass Effect. It still has a very different tone than Mass Effect, but it has that perfect space exploration thing, but it has a little bit of like Firefly Serenity, the TV show in it.
Oh, right.
Kind of this broken down music and some strings and things. And
man, that sounds good.
It's got like a tiny bit of Halo in there too, but it's just real good. It's worth it. Let's see. They released Ys 8 Lacrimosa of Dana for the Switch.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what's been sucking up most of my time lately. This is basically an action RPG, like where you're on a ship crashes into an island, and kind of the general mechanical flow of it is you have a village you have started. With the ultimate goal of leaving the island, but until then you're going to build up this village with defenses and shops and things.
Oh no, my weakness.
So so you're generally like you wander around the island, you find a castaway, you send them back to the village, they do something new for your village. At the same time, like the island has a bunch of blockades that you need X amount of people, like, oh, here's a big boulder, we need 8 people to move this boulder.
Right.
So Like, you get 8 castaways, and then you've moved the boulder. And there seems to be another mystery, too, that's unfolding on the island that I'm... Like, basically, there's dinosaurs here, too. They call them primordials, but they're just, like, Japanese anime dinosaurs, so...
Right. And we'll just put dinosaurs in it. All right.
Yeah. It's, I really, really like this game a lot. Like, it's... At first, it was a little jarring in that it's very much not a AAA game. Like, it's very much like I'd say like a B tier thing. But they put, like, you can tell they put a lot of work and effort into it, because the island seems to be very large. The combat's a lot of fun. It's fairly basic in that you have a jump and an attack button. And you hold down a button and press one of 4 buttons, and they'll do a special move kind of thing.
Sure.
And they have a lot of leveling systems, and they have real basic, like super basic crafting in it, and like a gift system to the villagers. But the gift system is, like, I just got that recently in game, and I bought all the gifts, and I just walked up to someone, and I could only give them one specific gift, so I don't have to guess, like in Dragon Age or something.
Oh, right. Where it's like, are you gonna like this one? It's like, no, now they're mad at me. Crap.
Yeah. And there's evidently is some sort of this person likes you level, and they all do different things. Like, the people in my party, I gave one guy an item. It was like a fishing flag or something like that, and he got like +5 strength or something from it.
Oh, wow.
And then I gave the tailor of the village, who, you know, she doesn't make armor, but she makes clothes and accessories and things. I gave her like a golden needle, and it said it maxed out her affinity for me, but I wasn't really clear that it actually did anything.
Yeah.
And they have like I opened an area where they're farming now, but I'm not real clear. Like, every time I talk to the kid tending the farm, like I don't know how to add plants to it. I can harvest them, as I can see them and walk up to them and press the button, but I'm not real clear on adding more to it. But
it's that same, like you were saying, it's like a B-tier JRPG where it's like, some of this stuff could be a lot clearer if you'd done more focus testing or more QA, but I sort of get that you can't, so I'll just figure it out.
Yeah. I'm also fairly certain the Switch version has the new translation.
I believe so, yeah.
Because when I was looking something up online, I'm like, where am I? I am in the Towering Coral Forest. And all the guides online called it the Raised Forest.
And you're like, right, sure, I mean, close.
Like, at the same time, the writing in the game, like, isn't super great. Like, it's not bad. It's very simple and
serviceable.
Yeah. I mean, it works. You're crashed on an island. Your character's a beacon of positivity. Like, you get some dialogue choices, but I'm just rolling with the beacon of positivity reactions.
Right. You're going to fix this island by the power of friendship.
Yeah. It does have all the women are fairly close to nude, like, thing in the game.
Right.
Although they seem to have, like, how do I put this politely? They seem to have human bodies instead of, like, where they could fit organs in them and things like that.
Instead of, like, stick figures.
I mean, they're all very skinny, but yeah, like, they're not the sorcerers from Dragon's Crown or something, you know.
Oh yeah, where it's like, that's not how bodies look.
Yeah. Let me think. What else to say about it? I really like this. The music for this game is going to be for a very niche audience, and I happen to be in that niche. In that it's that really upbeat, like, Japanese pop, rock, metal kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, you walk out into the field to explore, and you just got this, like, good, like,
adventuring music.
Yeah. And I think the soundtrack did really good. But then on the other end, I think whoever did the sound effects game did a terrible job.
Oh no.
The jumping sound, like, almost hurts my ears. Like,
oh.
Luckily, I've learned to mostly ignore it. It's such a weird, like, I don't know what they were, like, it sounds like someone, like, wadding up paper really quick or something. I don't know. It's not really clear. It's kind of good.
It's one of those sounds where you push the jump button and you're like, is that that's the jump sound? Like, what does that even mean? Just have someone go, yeah, and that's it.
Yeah. The other thing that weirded me out about this game was, and this is a writing thing, they, like, some characters are from Africa, but it's spelled Afroca, and some characters are Roman, but it's spelled ROU or ROMUN. Like,
okay.
They keep putting, like, real world names in there and just misspelling them by one letter, and it's a little maddening.
That's weird. It's almost like a Dragon Quest pun.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So, it's, but I really like this game. I think if you like JRPG, like action RPGs, I think this will be up your alley. I'm not convinced the Switch version is necessarily the best. Like I said, I haven't looked it up, but I suspect the PlayStation, and if it came out for Xbox, the Xbox version are better looking and running.
Yeah.
To a degree. But I still like the portability of the Switch. That goes a long way with me. But that's... I don't know. I'm still enjoying it a lot. Like, I've just pumped a ton of hours into it. I don't know how long the game is, but I'm on Chapter 3, and I'm sure I've put at least 30 hours into it. So.
Oh, wow.
And Chapter 3 seems like the story is just now starting. We're about to go to the second half of the island, so it's probably a 60-hour thing, you know. But I also think it's a simple enough game that I could probably shelve it for a bit if I wanted to and come back. But
yeah. Mina in chat asks, is it on Steam? It is.
There you go.
Looks like it is on... Yep, it is available on Steam. All reviews are mixed. That sounds about right.
The way the game kind of moves is a little weird at first. That took me a little bit to get used to. I also had to... Like, all the majority of the controls in the game are reassignable. And I reassigned all the buttons on the Switch because, like, the way you hold the Switch and the buttons they wanted you to press the most just didn't make sense.
Oh, right.
Like, for the special powers, they wanted you to hold the tiny little shoulder buttons down. And you're hitting those all the time, so I just switched it, with the big triggers, so...
it's almost like, just hold the plus button. It's like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, but it's... I've played an East game before, like on PSP, like I think I have the third one. I want to say The Nimp is the one who got me The Nimp. I don't. Right. If you have a username, I promise you I read it wrong. I don't do it intentionally. There's just something wrong with my brain. But it's from what I can tell, it's nothing like 3.
Yeah.
Because 3 is a 2D. But I also didn't spend a ton of time with 3, so I have no idea what it's like for any of them, but I get the impression the main character, Adol, is in most of the games, if not all of them.
That sounds familiar, like something I've read, yeah.
So, anyway, other than that, I've just been playing phone games. I guess I'll bust through those real quick.
Sure.
Avengers Strike Force. I'm starting to... Like, the honeymoon's finally kind of starting to be over with me.
Yeah, I haven't played it for about a week, so I think it's pretty well over for me.
It's weird, because it's a game I like playing.
Yeah.
That just... I don't think they have their currency system figured out in terms of, like, getting new characters. I don't think they have how much a new character should cost money-wise, because every offer I see is... Get this 3-star character for $50. No.
Yeah, it's like, that's so much.
It's 2-star character for $30. No, $10
is
the most I'd be willing to give you. And
or the worst stuff they do is like, get this character for $20, and you look, and it's like only half of the shards you would need to unlock the character. And it's like, you can't, you can't be doing this.
Man, that almost got me a few weeks ago. It was when they were doing that shield-only quest. And I was like, -1 character, and I was thinking about, like, biting on Black Widow, and then realized, oh, she's 100 shards. You're only selling me 45.
Ugh.
Go screw yourself.
Blech. Yeah, I think my biggest problem with Marvel Strike Force is I feel like it's so easy to get to the point where each individual character is like level 4 or level 5, and then as immediately you hit a brick wall that you just have to grind the hell out of that game to get even incremental upgrades beyond that. Like, I feel like there's no real smooth ramp. It's just all, oh, this is easy. I got all these characters up to, whoops, nope. Like, run this mission forever. And I think that's what really frustrated me.
Yeah, it's just, it suffers from what most phone games do, in that you want to keep playing the phone game, but the phone game wants you to give it hundreds of dollars to keep playing.
Yeah. I had faith in it because it didn't seem like that when it launched, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, you just get this character for $60. It's like, I can't justify that.
Like, I'm probably going to keep playing it because I'm still enjoying it enough. But I could see myself falling off the horse at some point. But
yeah.
It just depends. Like, that autocomplete battle thing goes a long way with me.
Yep.
And I want to say it was the Nymph again in chat who was talking about beating Arena with using the auto battle. And what I found is the auto battle is surprisingly competent. And,
yeah.
I can just kind of click that, and basically I'm just there to tell the game to play itself.
Right, just like queue up the next thing, watch some TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then the only other RPG phone game I've been playing is Final Fantasy Brave Exvius.
Yeah. Happy 2nd anniversary, Brave Exvius. We have so much free stuff it's giving us.
It's, God, this is the game I'm really tempted to spend money on.
Yeah.
I keep not doing it, though, thankfully. And thankfully, the deal I was really, really thinking about, I didn't. But Mina in chat says, I pulled so many rainbows. And, like, the first couple days, I did, too.
Yeah.
I have not since then. But
yeah, I feel like they're trying to seed as many people as they can for the upcoming 7-star units. So for anyone listening that maybe doesn't play it, basically you got to take 2 max level characters that are the same and then mush them together for a whole ton of money, in-game money, and then you can raise them to be just stupid powerful. So I feel like that's half the reason why they're just like, free pulls for characters, here's a bunch of rainbows, 10%, chances of pulls, it's crazy. Oh, you don't need 2 max ones? Only 1. Okay, well.
Okay.
Need a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I feel like this is how I want anniversaries in games like this to happen. Where it's sort of like, look, for the next month, we're just going to give you a whole bunch of free or pretty easy stuff.
They've been giving us free units, too, like free, like daily login, here's a new free unit.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, that's great.
The event going on right now, I don't think is too bad to do.
It's pretty fair, yeah.
I think I've been doing the 20 energy version for my grinding. Like, I beat all of them, but the 20 energy one is the one that I can do without really paying attention to it, which is...
Yeah, I think the highest level elite, maybe? That one I'm struggling a little bit too much with.
Yeah, I did that one once, and I'm like, okay, not doing that again. So,
never again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, Mina's listing her units she got in chat. I am very envious.
Yeah.
I have not. Like, come 7-star time, I have exactly 2 units I could take. Okay, I take it back. 3 units I could take to 7-star. And that is just, one of the Veritas, I forget which ones. Oh no, I can't, because I just realized I used all my dupes of him today because I wanted more space.
Oh, right.
Spend on more unit inventory. Okay, so I just have 2, and one is
Orlando?
No, I'm not that lucky.
Oh.
I just have 1 Orlando, not 2. I went blank. The Final Fantasy Tactics, Ramsey's best friend that's a bad guy.
Oh, Delita?
Yeah, I have like 3 Delitas.
Wow. Jeez.
I have 2 Summoner Iridias. And,
oh, wow.
So I'll probably do Summoner Iridia and I guess not Delita. He seems like a really lousy unit, and it doesn't sound like he gets much better. 7-star, but
Yeah, I've been relying on my brother mostly for like, hey, is this? I just pulled this 5-star. Is this a good 7-star? I was like, well, no, not really. Mina in chat says Rydia is good though, so it sounds like that's your first priority.
I mean, Yuna's one of my favorite units in the game right now, and Rydia is just a black mage version of her. So like,
right.
And she has an awesome Trustmaster reward. Oh, and that's the other thing that I don't understand is the Trustmaster reward versus the 7-star thing. Mm-hmm. I guess you want to get one of their Trustmaster rewards before you make them a 7-star, and then you mush them together, and then a Super Trustmaster reward is available.
Right, I've heard that. Yeah, I'm a little out of the Brave Exvius game right now, so I feel like every time I hit the subreddit to find out any 7-star information, it's just a lot of memes. It's like, that's fun, but I'll wait until it comes out and then do some sort of brain dump.
Someone on there posted a big breakdown of all the 7-star units in the game.
Oh, wow.
And they're just like quick little blurbs, and he has some too long don't read points, but it's a good idea to see like what someone thinks of the 7-star abilities.
Right. I'll have to go see if I can find that.
Like Sephiroth's 7-star is supposed to be completely amazing.
Yeah.
But I have little to no hope of getting an extra of any of the units that I really want to make 7-stars out of. But
yeah.
P.S. Liddy, I think, is probably a decent start. And I have 3 million gold, or however long it is.
Yeah. And so much of that stuff might change for us, too, some of the mechanics of it, so
yeah,
I'm sort of not getting too worried about it yet.
Yeah. Oh, and they had that Just Cause event in there, too.
Yeah, so this is the craziest part. They announced a Just Cause event, and I was like, oh, exciting, it'll be Just Cause 4, because that was just shown at E3, and no, it's for Just Cause 3. It's like...
Yeah. And
then the raid boss is just a helicopter.
Yeah.
It's like, well, this is just the right amount of dumb. I love it.
Yeah, if every Square Enix game just decides to make a cameo in this, I'm all right with that.
Life is Strange. You get to play as Max and Chloe.
Oh, I'm in. I'm 1,000% in.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Like Max just has a camera and rewinds time.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Anyway, so that is all I've been playing.
All I've really been playing on the RPG front is Final Fantasy V 4-Job Fiesta. We're in that season right now. It doesn't look like I talked about this last month, so it starts this year. It was June 19th and runs until August 31st. And I thought this year I'm going to try and fit as many runs as I can into this year as humanly possible. So if you don't enjoy Final Fantasy V, this is the only game I'm talking about. Just fast forward for a little bit. I have had some pretty ridiculous runs, so I sort of want to break them down. First run I had was... And the other thing, too, is I want to run some of the different variations that he's created. First run I had was just a normal run. I got Monk, Berserker, Geomancer, and Dancer. I cannot tell you how easy that run was. Very, very, very little that stood in my way. World 1 was just punched to death with the Bard, and everything else was pretty much cleaned up by some combination of the rest of them. The final boss, Neo Exdeath, was probably the hardest, just because all those classes are pretty squishy, except for the Berserker, but there's nothing you can do about that. So I grinded my way all the way up to level 50, and once I hit that, sort of my health and my natural armor was high enough at that point that I walked right through it. So that was run 1, and that was, I think that took me 15 hours. It actually wasn't that bad, a little bit slower than I normally go, but all things considered, I didn't really have too big of an issue. So I thought, well, for my second run, let's do Chaos. And what Chaos does is, the description on the website is, you are assigned jobs. And what that really means is, at any point when you go ask the Twitter bot for your next job, it gives you a job from any crystal, including ones you haven't unlocked yet. So if you don't have those jobs available, you just use freelancer and struggle as much as you can until you get what you're going to get. The grouping that I got was Dancer, Thief, Bard, Samurai. This is a really great combo that unfortunately a Dancer doesn't get unlocked until the very end, so I was forced to play through half of the intro as Thief. Have you done the Fiesta before, Musim?
I think I've spent like an hour with that game.
Okay. So, Thief is one of the harder first jobs you can get, but the first couple bosses aren't terribly difficult. The real trouble is when you have to fight the second set of bosses with just Thief. So, there's this super easy boss in the library dungeon. You have to fight Ifrit first, and then he unlocks the rest of the dungeon for you. And you fight this thing called Biblos. And for most groups, it's not that bad. Once you get him to about half health, he has a counterattack that drains your health and heals him. Most of the time, you're so strong that it's not an issue. If you're 4 thieves, though, you sort of have a lot of trouble. Thieves are naturally very weak and can only equip cloth armor, and you're not doing much damage, if any at all. So, one of the bigger things too is, as long as he has MP, if you hit him, he casts Protect on himself. So instead of hitting 50 a hit, and he has like 1200 health, you're hitting for 20. So, the common strategy is you quote-unquote just need to extinguish his MP just by having him cast a bunch of stuff, but you need to be prepared with as much healing stuff as you can. So I went to this one previous dungeon and I stole 99 high potions. So I have 99 of those and 4 elixirs. And I think, alright, I have to be ready. These heal for 500, he's not hitting for that much. We should be great. I spent an hour waiting for him. He has 1,000 MP. Any of his attacks take 3 to 5 MP. So I spent an hour just healing and waiting for him to do all of his stuff so I could even attack. And I ran out of all of my healing items, and he killed me.
Oh.
So, I thought, I posted on Twitter in like this flash of anger. It's like, well, screw it. I'm going to abandon this run somehow, and I'm just gonna start a new one. Like, screw this run. There's no way I can do it. And somebody I just friended on Twitter who we've been talking about the Fiesta a lot, said like, hey man, don't abandon your run. Like, that's bad form. It's like, you know what, you're right, that's fair. Instead, I'll go try and use the job fair for the very first time. And what the job fair is on the For Job Fiesta website, you can pick one of your crystal jobs and re-roll that into something you specify. And the only thing you do is... So, I'll give you an example. I said, well, I want to keep Thief, Bard, and Samurai, because all 3 of those classes are strong. I just want to get rid of Dancer, and then give myself a job that I have available already, and then I can use that to beat it. So I said, I had Knight for a while, and I feel like it isn't unfair, so I picked Knight and then keep the rest of my jobs, and it said, okay, if you want to re-roll your run, you just need to donate $2 to Child's Play, and then we'll update the website, and you'll be back on board. So I donated my $2, and then I had Knight, Thief, Bard, and Samurai, and I completely destroyed the rest of that game. One of the things that's really interesting is the Bard is an incredible job, and it sounds so stupid because basically for most of their attacks, they're going to lock themselves out and they'll just sing constantly and boost one of your stats. And a lot of times it's like speed or magic power. It's not really that great. But the very last song you get, Hero's Rhyme, it says it boosts all stats. That's wrong. What it does is it boosts your character level over time. So if you start at level 40, basically every turn, your whole party gains a level.
Holy crap.
It gets crazier because in all the previous versions, I'm playing the iOS version this year, which is fine. I just didn't feel like digging out my Game Boy Advance. In every other version, your level caps out at 99, so Hero's Rhyme caps out at 99. In the iOS, Android, and Steam version, that caps out at 255. So to say that I destroyed the final boss with 4 characters at level 255 and he's at like 94 is a pretty big understatement. It was full on ridiculous. It's the fastest I've beaten that boss in the history of me playing that game. I beat him in 4 turns. And usually it takes like 20 or 30 just because I'm healing. And I destroyed him and it felt so good. So I thought, that didn't turn out too badly. So I'm doing a third run right now, and I decided to do a random run. Basically, it's the inverse of Chaos. So if Chaos just picks something from every job in the game, basically, random picks a job from all of the crystals you've unlocked so far. So random naturally weights itself towards the end crystals, and random weights towards the early crystals. So I got another crazy team. I got Blue Mage, which means I win, Time Mage, Thief, and White Mage. Which is basically, once I get all my classes, there's nothing that can stop me in the game at this point. So it's just really getting over that hump to getting... The biggest hump in the game is to getting your second class, and once you've done that, it's pretty much nonstop. So far so good. I'm on my third run now, and I think my second run also took me about 15 hours, with just a very little amount of grinding at the end. But so far so good. I have, what is it, a little under 2 months left to go, so I'm hoping that to fit... my main goal is to fit at least 5 runs in. And if I can do more than that, then I'll be okay. I think the person that's highest on the leaderboard has done 13 already. It's been like 3 weeks, so... Wow. That a lot of those people that do those are streaming it and doing some sort of charity drive, so that makes sense, but also, like, that's a lot of Final Fantasy V, man.
Yeah.
At, like, 15 hours a pop, if you're not using fast forward, that's just non-stop Final Fantasy V, and that seems a little excessive, but who knows, I'm the one staying up until 1 in the morning playing Final Fantasy V in bed on my phone, so who am I to judge? But yeah, it seems like a lot less people are playing the Fiesta this year than the last couple of years, so if anyone is still interested in playing it, you can still join all the way up until it's going to end. It runs until the end of August. You don't have to have registered before it started. You can just start whenever. So, and Final Fantasy V is really great. I will still recommend the Game Boy Advance version as being the best. Now that I've done a couple runs on the mobile version, it's fine. It's sort of a pain in the butt to move around some of the dungeons, but diagonal movement helps a little bit, but it's still not... It's not as buggy in the positive way as the Game Boy Advance one is. So, that's a little bit of a bummer. But since I'm now on my third run of this game, that is definitely all I've been playing this past month. Do you want to take a break, or do you want to move right into releases and news stories?
We can just move into releases and news.
All right, let's talk about releases for this month, July 2018. Shining Resonance Refrain comes out on the 10th for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I think you were excited about this game, right?
Yeah. Since this is granted, it's a near decade old. It's a PS3 Shining Force game that they've, I guess, upgraded and re-releasing with some DLC.
Huh.
This was never released stateside before, so
Okay.
it's completely new in English. But yeah, no, I have it pre-ordered for Nintendo Switch.
Nice.
I am judging by the quality of the last few Shining Force games we got back for PS2. Like I don't have much hope for this, but they had this wonderful picture of a man who had a giant axe that was also a guitar.
Awesome.
Which endears me at least to his character. I know there's some sort of music element to the game.
That makes the title make sense.
Yeah. So
Gotcha.
I'm disappointed by the lack of, like most Shining Force games, you get a robot and like a beast man and like you get
Some real crazy stuff.
Yeah, in this one they all look very humanoid, although I guess one of the characters is a dragon, even though they look like human. I don't know if that means they'll turn into a dragon for you or not, but
Yeah, it's like suddenly a Breath of Fire game.
hopefully they chose this game specifically for a reason, and it's higher quality than, let's say, Shining Force Neo or
Oh, yikes, yeah.
Shining Force, whatever the one after that was.
I don't even remember. Yikes.
I have it. It's on my desk, but it's not within reading distance. Anyway.
Well, the next game that comes out on the 13th is Octopath Traveler for the Switch. My brother pre-ordered this for me as a gift, and I am so excited for this to come out. I know the producer said that he sort of made it as a spiritual successor to Final Fantasy VI, but from everything I've seen and played, it seems more like a Saga game more than anything else, especially more like a Saga Frontier title, which is very exciting for me as one of the two people in the world that like the Saga Frontier games. Mina says it reminds her of the Saga games too.
But those are all games that I really haven't spent much time with, so...
Yeah, it's a lot of like, choose your character at the beginning. You have 8 characters, but they're all going to meet up and be in your party later, so it sort of doesn't matter, but you get all these twisty, turny stories that all intersect with each other, and and that art style looks so cool.
I like that the prologue thing that you can download or whatever it is actually is the game. You just only play it for X amount of time or to X point. I haven't played it yet, but I like the artwork. I have it on pre-order. I don't think I will realistically play it when I get it, but it's.
You have 3 other RPGs in the list before that.
Yeah. Like it has the kind of hype around it where, like, okay, I'm just gonna pay the extra $10 or $20 and get the special version. In worst case scenario, I can probably resell it for at minimum what I paid for it.
Yeah, exactly. Banner Saga 3 comes out on the 24th for PC, OS X, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I didn't even know this was really coming out until they announced that the trilogy was coming to Switch, and I said, oh, there's a 2 and a 3?
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, 2's been out a while. I think I own it on something, but I still never beat the first one and need to... Just more RPGs I need to play.
Yeah. Put them on the pile. And last but not least, on the 31st, Titan Quest comes to the Switch. I loved this game when it was originally released. Was in the 2000s. And I feel like that's probably a pretty great platform to play it on, because it's a Diablo-style game, so you can play that while you're watching TV. That'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's scoot on to news stories. Let's talk about some highlights here from E3 2018. Sega is bringing the Yakuza games to PC, starting with Yakuza 0, which I believe... that hits Steam on August 1st, and it's only $20.
Oh, nice.
So that's a really great price. It's also $20 on PS4 right now if you kind of can't wait. But Kiwami 1 and 2 are also coming later. And I don't remember if 6 is coming, but I believe they said they're working on it. Mina says she already has Yakuza 0 pre-ordered, so she says you'll be happy to know. I am very happy. 2 thumbs up. Hope you enjoy it. Next one, Square Enix showed about 3 similar but different trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3 over the entirety of the show. And they confirmed that it will be released on January 25th, 2019. I have been putting there allegedly because that's a pretty long time from now, and another delay could happen. So, I'm still excited for this dumb, crazy game.
I've never played through a Kingdom Hearts, so I don't know. I think I've just given up on Kingdom Hearts. I own the first 2 for PS2.
Yeah.
I played a little bit of the first one. And sometimes I eye the remasters that they've done for PS4, since I guess you get like one collection of the first 2 games and another collection of all the handheld games.
Yep.
But like I don't think I have it in me. Like I think I'm just gotta have
that
to
ship
wonder
has sailed.
afar what the weird hooded Organization 13 or whatever they're called people are. And
yeah. Well, I was actually really surprised because they announced 2 things at the show. One is Kingdom Hearts 3 is going to have, I guess, an optional extended intro for people that, like me, haven't played them in forever or maybe haven't played them at all. And the other thing on PS4, they announced you can buy it now. It's $100 and it comes with all of the Kingdom Hearts games. So it's the 3 remastered sets and Kingdom Hearts 3 for $100. So that's actually a really pretty great deal.
That's the way to do it then. Yeah.
Yeah, and like all the remasters you can just download now and just, play leading up to 3. So that was a pretty smart choice. Now that they have all that stuff remastered and redone and made into movies and all that. So I'm still looking forward to that. I still have it pre-ordered from whatever it was 4 or 5 years ago, so at some point it will show up at my house, hopefully in January of 2019. Also coming early next year, Anthem is coming February 22nd, 2019. EA had a sort of an extended gameplay interview thing that they showed off, and that's looking pretty good.
I don't like it. It looks good. It's part of my non-excitement for Anthem is my fault. Like I wanted when they first showed that first trailer for Anthem, and they talked about customizing your suit. Mm-hmm. In my head, I went, "Oh God, please let me like do this really cool, intricate customization so I can customize and do a class."
Right, like leg armor and face plates and
that will not be the case. So
yeah.
It's just going to be cosmetics, and you choose one of the 4 classes. And I like that they have the anime mecha shooting tons of rockets at things.
Right, flying around.
Any game that has that in it is a positive thing. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what we're going to get out of this. So I guess I'm not, like, down on the game. I guess I'm just not, like, necessarily excited for it. So I'm open to purchasing it, but I'm not pre-ordering it at this point.
Yeah, I'm sort of in the same position where I sort of talked about it on TVGP. I've sort of been accidentally in the dark about Anthem. It's like a trailer will come out and be like, okay, cool, I'll watch that later, and then I never do. So this is sort of the first I've seen of Anthem, and I think I'm interested because it looks good, but I am not pre-ordering it, and I'm gonna wait to see what happens with this because probably unfairly to BioWare, I've been bitten twice by Destiny. So you show me something that looks like Destiny, and I say, okay, I'll wait for a little bit after the probably glowing reviews come out and figure out like, all right, after everyone's done all the raids 3 weeks in, is this still a good game?
Well, and inevitably they're going to do some sort of multiplayer beta that
that's true.
And probably get a good idea of what that game's going to be. And I think going through that original Destiny beta and thinking, man, I hope this game's a lot bigger than this, and then finding out it wasn't.
Right. Whoops.
Like I think I've learned how to hopefully rein back my expectations on that.
Right.
But a lot of stuff comes out on that date in February too, which is another thing going against it. So hopefully someone moves.
Yeah, somebody has to blink.
Yeah.
Very exciting news. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition is actually happening, and it's coming this year to PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch.
Woo!
I cannot be more excited for this. It contains all the stuff that the Japanese PS3 edition got, so like the new characters and then all the extra stuff. Dual language voice acting. It will be pretty cheap when it comes out. If you haven't played Tales of Vesperia, go do it. This is my favorite Tales game and one of my favorite RPGs, and it has a pipe-smoking wolf that joins your party, so, like, what are you waiting for?
Yeah. You've talked me up on this game for so many years. I'm glad to finally get it. Because I have this thing in my brain where every time I looked at the Xbox version, I thought, I really want the limited version, but I don't want to pay $200 or whatever obscene price it goes for right now.
I don't even think it had anything crazy in it. I think it was just like a soundtrack sampler and like a cool box.
I know. It's my own problem.
But it just looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm just going to get the Switch version and I'll play through.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to sort of regular news stories here. No Kuni 2 got update 1.03 that actually added additional difficulties, which is, it also has like a whole bunch of bug fixes and additional stuff, but they added 2 new difficulties, which are hard and expert. And what I think is really interesting is on those harder difficulties, it's not just, oh, well, the game gets harder or like you get less experience or whatever. Enemies will be more difficult, but you'll actually get more rare items to drop more often and have higher maximum equipment quality levels. So you're getting a harder game, but it's not just, oh, it's the game that you played before. Like Mina in chat says, more purple drops. Basically, yeah, like you're gonna get better equipment out of playing the harder version, which is gonna be great because it needed a harder difficulty mode, and to get rewarded for playing that way is pretty great. So it's a good conversation going on in chat right now. And last but not least, we just talked about Octopath Traveler, but the Square Enix has said that the producer said that it's not getting any DLC because, quote, the product version is the finished product, end quote. Hooray!
Shots thrown.
Yeah, like it's sort of nice for some developer to come out and be like, we're not putting DLC because like we put the whole game in there. Like it's all good. It's all there. So you don't have to worry about Game of the Year edition or anything like that. So
I wonder if that's easier for them to say now, since all the games as a service has become a common phrase and a common thing. Like maybe they're looking at Final Fantasy 15 and being like, we don't want to keep trying to think of crap to shove in this game. So let's just say it's done.
Right.
Just tell our bosses it's not a service, it's just a game, and move on.
Well, then Square gets the best of both worlds. You want to play a game for the next 5 years, you can pick up Final Fantasy 15. You just want to bang through something for 60 to 80 hours, like single player offline, picked up Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's nice to see Square kind of come out and be pretty honest about that. I like it. But that's all releases and news stories, and that's our episode for this month. Sorry it's a little bit shorter, but I'm dying in here. If you'd like to visit us, you can do so at pickingupthepixels.com. All the links to contact us and follow us and subscribe are on the right-hand side of the page, including the Discord server. Come on and hop in, talk about Brave Exvius with us. We're always talking about that forever. Musin, where can we find you?
You can check out my hub for all my musical endeavors at jbaudio.net. You can also buy my music at musim.bandcamp.com.
You can find my other show, That Video Game Podcast, tvgp.tv. Don't forget to follow Mina pretty much everywhere, Mina KO Rocket. and Mobile Mina for all of her mobile coverage. And I think that's it. So thank you, Musin, for joining me yet again.
Pleasure as always.
And we'll see you all next month. Bye.